Okay, so, for like the umpteenth time to make these videos on my, driver wheel, I'm like waiting there for a few seconds and going, okay, is it gonna like slip and fall, or is it like stabilized? Is it, lodged in place? Anyways, um, 8:32 p.m. right now, 13th of May, 2021, day 13. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks on this streak, and so let me see. I got some good news employment wise. I will have to fill out some paperwork, but they're giving me a offer of employment at the old workplace. It's basically just my old job back, but it's going to be on the morning shift of the second half of the week. So I'll see how that works out. Insofar as I'll get through I'll do my 6 months, then they'll most likely hire me on permanently. But when I say see how that goes, it's because I'm also planning on trying to get signed up for a class over the summer, and I'll have to talk to the professor. I mean, I'll sign up for it and that sort of thing, but I'll have to talk to the professor about how exactly that's gonna look, because so it's how should I put it? The way the schedule will work, it's obviously, like I said, morning shift, and then so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's what Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or so the week will basically either start on a Wednesday or on a Tuesday, I think, or on a Wednesday or a Thursday. But I'll look at the exact what do you call it, the exact dates, so to speak, or days, the details basically. But essentially, if I get signed up for any class over the summer, most likely the way they do things, because they're they're trying to cram what will be usually a 4-month long semester worth into 2 or 3 months, which means it's usually a Monday through Thursday sort of class schedule setup, and I'll have to basically be in contact with the professor to figure out, okay, how am I gonna work that out, because gotta work, but I want to take this class, and so much of the deal right now is I want to bounce back from this semester. I gotta let some people know that, hey, basically I had to drop out of the class. Some folks I was in groups with or so, cause yeah, which sucks, but I had to look at it as a cost-benefit analysis, and a lot of it was just here's sort of the fallout of a lot of these other things that have gone on, and I have the mindset that assuming things go well with the other company, with the old employer, I mean, the way that environment, at least in my experience, was basically if you did your work and you got your stuff done, by and large, people weren't ragging on you. It was more like if you were disappearing for long stretches of time, and it's kind of where'd that guy go, or where'd that gal go? Then they'd have questions. But if you were in the lab doing your due diligence, getting your work done, that sort of thing, that's what they were all concerned about. Way more professional. And while there were definitely issues. There are issues in all workplaces, but for the most part, I could let those issues slide, because it was seasonal, or it was only tangential. If you were you weren't necessarily having to deal with this person or that person you might have had issues with, or people were at least professional enough to try and like go, okay, you know what, got to get along with these folks here because need a paycheck. So at the very least, try and make some effort to not only get to know the people you work with, but to find some commonality or some common ground, and seeing that be the case, that that created more of a basis for a sustainable employment situation. Whereas at the other place, it was like, a day you walk in, like this one guy takes a dislike to you because of whatever freaking reason. He's just, mad about things, and he's mad about the fact that he's got to train this new guy on some process or whatever. He's got some beef for whatever freaking reason. And that guy's, on your case 24/7, 365. And, you look at the clock and you're just like, oh man, I got an hour more or 2 hours more, 3 hours more to deal with this jerk face. And, after that, you're just like waiting for time to count down so you can get the heck out of Dodge, As opposed to at the other place where, I'm not going to say there weren't days, or there weren't, more accurately put nights, because, I was working on the night shift at the time. It's not like there weren't times like that, but it was doable. And there were times where, we'd all head off to, our separate, our cars, and be leaving to go back to our homes, and, laughing about stuff, some jokes somebody had made or something like that. Or at least in the beginning, oh, so-and-so, said, hey, they're going out to get breakfast. You want to go with us? We're going with them, and then you get to go do that sort of stuff. And it was like, it's like there were enough days where you looked forward to going into work, unless you'd done something really dumb or made some huge ass mistake where you were like, oh man, the manager's going to hear about this and I'm going to be toast. But 9 times out of 10, I had those concerns, but I never had them materialize, or I never had them in such a sense that it was like, this is really going to materialize into something huge, and with that in mind, like, I foresee in the future going back to this place, it'll be far more doable, and I'll be able to bounce back, and then hopefully by next spring I can retake this class and be done with it, or else I'll be taking some other classes. I may have to put off retaking that class until later, because the idea is, right now the big focus is get my last 60 units GPA up to a 2.5 or higher. And obviously with this class being the way it's been, to leave open the opportunity to retake the class and actually get a decent grade, because if I get my GPA for my last 60 units up to a 2.5 or higher, I can then apply for what's called a conditional admission, or to become a conditionally classified graduate student. And then after that, if I still have that class to retake, or if I still got a handful of other classes to take for transition courses, and take those, and obviously by then have gotten into this sort of like track record of getting A's, or nothing less than a B, that sort of deal. Not having any more of these issues or these hiccups. And then I think beyond that, like, beyond the transition courses, they require at least 9 years of graduate school, level courses. So once then I complete that, then the idea obviously would be like apply for change of status, get that approved, become a fully matriculated graduate student, and then just keep doing the work that you got to do to get through the rest of graduate school. But for right now, it's really knocking out these certifications, getting this job, making that money, wrapping up my debt payoff. I think I can throw another $2,000 at the current loan, assuming everything goes through with this whole hiring situation, and that'll bring that down to about $4,500. After which I could probably get that paid off in a couple months, to be honest with you, maybe 2.5 months. Excuse me. And then it'll be on to the car loan. And I've been making my, minimum payments on all these other loans, but, when I say I'm talking like, onto targeted repayment to just get that knocked out, get that taken care of. My car really, it's, I've had it for, I got it back at the tail end of 2018. I think it was December 28th, 2018. And so I've had it for, what would that be? A little over 2 years, technically speaking. I think 2018 to, so December 2018, December 2020, it'll be 2 years, and now it's more like 2.5 years almost. And I only have, I think it's about, looking at the odometer, it's under 32,000 miles. I haven't driven it that much. Honestly, like, I got it, and then for about a semester and a half worth of time, I was driving it a really short distance, like essentially like to the edge of the city I live in, and back, and like you're talking like a 15-minute drive or so. And then following that, getting that job, way north of here, just driving it to and from work. It's about a 45-minute to an hour-long commute. Sometimes longer than that, depending upon the the traffic, but the same distance. So I think that was about like 40-something miles. That commute. The other one was like maybe 10 or 15 miles, something like that. But it wasn't that far away. Might have been 20, but it wasn't that far away. And so I just drove to and from work for the most part. Today I went grocery shopping, so like some days I would go grocery shopping. Some days I'd go out on some trip to some restaurant or so, just to sort of treat myself. But with the pandemic being the way it's been, and not really having my finances all sorted out, I was working on that. I didn't really have anywhere to go, so it's not like I was going to travel a long distance cross country and rack up a bunch of miles. So it's like I've had this for 2.5 years, but it's only got like less than 32,000 miles on it. So I get the car paid off. I've got a significant amount of distance I can probably get out of this car, barring some major catastrophe or so. And that's kind of the plan, So like you get out of debt, get an emergency fund going, you start saving up money beyond that for other things. I'll map out what exactly I'm gonna do the day I get there. Because so much of what I want to do ultimately is just creating other sources of income to free myself up, so that I can go do other things in my life, And along the way, if I figure things out, obviously I'll be sharing it on this channel, or if I do decide to start some other channel, like a financially related channel or so, share like what I've learned. But other than getting that good news, I got called a couple times in the morning. I didn't recognize the number, and then I got an email from the guy, and then it was like, oh, I kind of looked up where he was located. It's like, oh, okay, maybe that was him calling. And then I just gave him the time, I said, oh, sometime this afternoon, I'm free any time in the afternoon. And he called me just after 12, and then I talked with him, and I was like, yeah, I'll take the job. Great, awesome, because I was just looking for, looking for a way to keep the lights on right now. In a stable situation where I know that, I generally speaking got a feel for the company culture and the way that people are, and how to fit in and all that. Um, so other than that, the package that I got from my mom, sort of a late Mother's Day, sort of continuation of Mother's Day sort of a deal. That arrived, and also apparently I checked the what do you call it, the tracking system for the one that I got from my grandma. Apparently that arrived as well today. So I'll be calling her maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. It's usually either on a Saturday or a Sunday that I call her. But yeah, that arrived, and I had sort of a video chat with the family. My mom really liked it. They were going through and they just all that nice. Basically, it was sort of a gift pack of like German chocolate and other sort of goodies. I found this place called Taste of Germany. They're based out of Maryland, and they source from overseas, from Germany, and the surrounding Germanic areas, and they had some nice gift packs, and I picked out one for my mom and I picked out another for my grandma, and I got them both flowers. Assuming that there are more Mother's Days in the future where they're still part of this world with us. Obviously I'll get flowers for my mom, but I'm also getting them for my grandma. It's something I want to do, especially like now. Now that she's 90, my grandma's 90, and definitely I saw like in the conversation I had with my mom and my dad, the year is taking a toll on them, and and some of it has been bad decision making. I've gone over this stuff in the past, but I still want to do nice things like that here and there for different occasions, just to have done that, because I really liked it when I for instance talked with my grandma last it was last Sunday, and she'd gotten the flies, and she told me how she seen them when she was backing out of the driveway, and she looked over and saw them, and she was like, oh wow, and how much she liked the flowers I sent, and appreciated that, and kind of she's not really animated, and positive about it. And I got her the biggest bouquet you could get from that place, and had that sent over. And then my mom definitely she loved the two dozen roses that I had sent to her, and they were different colors, different types, that sort of a thing. And it's stuff like that it's like you wanna do things like that, if you can, maybe create some good memories, that sort of a deal. So but yeah, that's kind of been my day today. Trying to get as much done with that Python programming boot camp. I want to get that knocked out as soon as I can, so I can stop talking about it, and then I can move on to the other ones, get those knocked out. I do have that spot reserved in that certification course for early June. Have been marked on my calendar. Still waiting to hear back from some of the folks there, because I just want to pay for the darn class and just be done with it. They'll probably be contacting me. I think the guy said like 2 weeks out from the course, they put a hold on your registration or whatever, and I'm hoping that somebody notifies me, then I can be in contact with the accounts folks, and if not now, then then, so I can just pay for the darn thing. You get a nice certificate of completion once you go through the course, and you can, tack that onto your LinkedIn. You can tack that onto your resume, and um, these are the kinds of things that if you have that, on there, like, I've said it before, it's kind of a rare skill, very specialized, um, very specialized to the biotech industry. And if you have those sorts of things, like, like I've said in the past, there are a lot of job opportunities out there, and there are companies that will, throw gobs of money at you to have you come and make the programs for their machines that can make the products they are trying to make. Because, so much of the R&D process is like, once you've got the chemistry and the biology figured out, it's a lot of it's just like the automation and the scale up in the, manufacturing side. And, there are, from what I can tell, there are way more like scientists out there who know the chemistry and the biology, and there's less people out there who have the specific skill set to, take that nice little experiment, or chemical process which makes a certain compound, and then find out how to make that happen, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million times, in a day, a week, a month, something like that, or, a financial quarter or whatever. And if you're that guy who can do that, or that gal who can do that, like, you've got far more stuff going in your favor than otherwise, and a lot of opportunities that, other folks might not get or won't get because they don't have that specific skill set. So anyways, I'm gonna head in. I bought some spring water, some coffee creamer. I have instant coffee still, enough of it. Bought some cleaning supplies. Apparently, the supply chain's up and running, or it has been up and running enough that they not only have all the shelves stocked for all the toilet paper, but they have those disinfecting wipes, which, like, I can't remember, like, how long ago did I have to buy the ones that I've been using, but like it's been quite a while. It's been at least a few months since they had any of those. And I just like to use those not only to clean off, like I'll just disinfect, like, and I'm kind of a neat freak in that sense, But I'll routinely be wiping down, like, my desk, or even wiping on the floor, disinfecting that, or other surfaces. And I like to have those, disinfecting wipes, it's something that I think I picked up, not so much from, like, my previous religious background, but more so from, like, the spiritual occult, Thelemic background, where it's like, this whole idea of keeping a clean space, especially if, like, your ritual space, where you might be doing summonings, or, banishings, or what have you, or any sort of spiritual praxis, especially if it's, like, concurrent with your living space. You want to, like, keep that clean, especially if you're, conjuring up some spirits. Like, okay, you want to keep the space clean because it's sort of like you're inviting them as a guest. And even if you're not doing any works with spirits, it's just this whole idea of keeping a clean space. Then obviously you compound that with the pandemic happening, and now it's like, okay, what were people doing? They were hoarding toilet paper and hand sanitizer, for obvious reasons. And yeah, so I got all that stuff, and I think things are starting to turn back around, and I will be having to figure out and implement, basically, like, make the most of it, essentially. I already have a lot of my logistics and plans cut out for me. But for now, right now, tonight, as you can probably tell with the, spring water and the coffee creamer, I'm probably going to be pulling a late night just to get as many of the, the sections done in that boot camp, so I can sort of meet my personal goals, and I can, get that stuff done. And then I can tack that certification onto my LinkedIn and my resume and have code to add to my GitHub account. So anyways, I think I've gone on long enough, and this is my vlog for the day. So anywho, I'll see you folks around. Keep building, keep working, keep going. Don't sedate yourself, and understand that so much of this stuff is a process and a slog, but you got to go do the work if you want to get those results, and if you want to transform yourself into a better person and a better man and build a better future for yourself. So I'll try to keep that in mind. Just trying to finish this video off with a positive message that's relevant. So I'm not preaching, not soapboxing, just trying to put out a little bit of a positive message there. So anyways, I'll see you around. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.